Ever notice someone dragging large black bags through the hospital lobby and wonder who they are? That, my friend, is a medical device rep. Welcome to Device Guys. Your hosts, Brent Lloyd and Jason Doliak, bring 50 years of combined medical sales experience to the table, sharing insights, stories, and a behind-the-scenes look at this fascinating world. Enjoy the conversations.
Hey everybody, I'm Brent, he's Jason. We're the Device Guys. Welcome to the show. Jason, how do you do?
I do well. How do you do?
I do just fine, thank you.
Good to see you again.
Absolutely. Episode 4. Feeling better and better about
It's
this?
feeling better. This is fun. Yeah,
We'll
it's
see.
been great. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully you guys like this and it's interesting. Yeah, that's what we're going for.
Interesting, entertaining, and engaging.
The trifecta.
The trifecta.
The trifecta.
We talked about what we're going to talk about, Jason.
All right.
And I think we're having a conversation this week about how a lot of the times it's expected that the rep buys lunch.
Oh, we're going in the lunch conversation.
We're going to go into lunch.
We're going to
conversation.
go to lunch conversation.
I mean, I buy lunch less now than I used to, but it used to be really expected. Like in your job, how frequently do you buy lunch? Like, do you buy lunch for the lab?
No. So years ago, decades ago, we used to do that a lot. That was kind of the expectation. If you we've been doing this for a while. You show up and we'll get the lunch order to you. We'll get you in there, and you can wheel it into the lab. Those days are over. We don't do that anymore. But nowadays, like if I'm actually doing real algorithm or product training with nurses that are working with a programmer, yeah, if we're going to take an hour out of their time over lunch, hey, you can bring them lunch. Just do it. But it's so much more. I feel like it's gotten to a point where they're pretty tight about it, and it's appropriate now. I think
So
you got to be
do
used.
it like 1-on-1 or 2-on-1.
I usually do it with a group of usually 1 on 5 or 6, maybe 8. Yeah, for the mid levels or nurses that are doing device
Some
programs.
places don't even allow you to do
They
it.
don't allow you to do it. I mean, and I won't bring it in unless they specifically ask me to. Because a lot of times I don't even want to. It doesn't need to be. I've liked the way this has gone in the industry.
Right. I'm back in the day. You scheduled a day in the cath lab.
Oh yeah.
It was like you were bringing lunch for everybody,
Or
for the entire time.
yeah, if you had an in-service for a physician, like okay, well, plan on lunch. I'm like okay, well, what do you like? Because no, ask the manager. There's I think there's 40 or 45 people. So,
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna feed everybody.
This is before like Easy Cater. It was hard.
It was difficult. Yeah, you had to go through. You had to go down to Panera and go through the menu, line item it, and everyone's like, "Well, I want chips." I don't
You know why you had to do that?
Tell me.
People were over pizza.
Oh, that pizza.
Because it was like, hell, okay, I'll bring pizza. Like, no pizza.
How do you who gets over pizza? I don't get this. Who gets over pizza?
Oh, if you have 5 days in a week and every day is a different rep and there's lunch, you can't have pizza every day.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point.
It was always
It's a fair
like
point.
anything but pizza. And so what are you doing? You got your little dolly you got at Costco.
We'll go to
and
Cafe Rio.
You're going to Cafe Rio and they don't deliver. They're not delivering.
No.
This is before Grubhub, and you pick it up, and you march it back in, but it just that comes with the territory.
That's a great point nowadays. I mean, nowadays you can do it with Grubhub. This could be a piece of cake.
Oh, I do lunches still, and I use Easy Cater, and it's like what? Like there's nothing to it.
It's fantastic.
The expense report. You just do the expense report.
It's the bane of my existence. I would rather pay for
We should do a whole episode on expense report. On Concur.
Whoa. Careful there.
Look out! That's how passionate I got about Concur.
You hit the
Did you
table
see
worse.
that?
You hit the table worse than I did in the last episode.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pounding like a gavel.
Yeah, stop pounding. Listen to Diego, and he tells you.
I did.
So listen. What was I saying? We'll do a whole episode on expense
Concur.
reports.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about a lunch I did, back in the day, maybe 15 or more years ago,
right,
when I was at Boston Scientific. I was asked by one of the cardiologists on a Monday. I was there on a Monday, and he said, "Brent, I know you buy lunch for the cath lab sometimes. Is there a chance you could do lunch on Friday?" And I went, "Wow, this is odd, but sure, yeah, sure. I do lunch on Friday." And he says, "I would like you to get the lunch from the Greek festival in Ogden. They have terrific food, and it's a good cause. and I'd like you to.
I don't like where this is
No,
going
listen.
at all.
No, I didn't either. I'm like, okay, go on. And he says, I'm going to connect you with my wife. She's running the Ogden Greek Festival. And you just connect with her and get lunch with the cath lab and maybe recovery and
The C-suite,
and
everybody in the hospital,
echo and
valet,
probably valet, and we're going to want some Domates. We're going to want the spanakopita.
Dude, I do love a good dolmati.
Oh, the Domates.
Are you kidding me? Fantastic.
I could eat a whole lunch of Domates.
Easy.
I don't need, but he wanted the souvlaki.
Yeah.
He wanted the of course he wanted the souvlaki.
Right.
Right.
Did you get gyros?
Well, yeah, Euro platter.
Euro platter.
You make your own Euro. But he wanted the moussaka. He actually called me the Thursday before. Brent, don't forget the tzatziki. The tzatziki.
The sauce.
Yeah. The yogurt sauce.
The yogurt sauce.
So I mean, so I have to arrange this with his wife. I'm calling his wife. And
Wait a minute. Are you doing this for his daughter's wedding party or what's going on?
It just felt weird. I didn't like it at all. And so day comes. Here's the day to go pick up the food. I've ordered like
At the festival.
$900, $2,009 of food.
Those are $2,009.
And then, of course, the Ogden Greek Festival is not delivering, and I have to get my little Costco dolly, and I have to park a half mile away, and I walk down through the church and, get the stuff and drive it back.
Do you have scrubs on?
I did have scrubs on, maybe a T-shirt, And then I get it back to the cath lab. All laid out. This is taking me like an hour and 45 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's happy. And, I'm feeling, okay, this is over. I just haven't done an expense report yet, but at least the hard part's already most of the hard part. And you know what he says to me?
Tell me.
He says, Brent, thank you for doing this. Really appreciate it. Now, I'm going to ask you to please delete my wife's number from your phone.
What?
Yeah. Delete the number. And I'm like, well, of course. Of course I'll delete your wife's number.
That's not what you said.
No, of course I said that.
I know you said that, but I would give anything to
What
have
does he think I'm gonna
seen the look on your face when he asked that. Because what is he assuming? What is he? Yeah, Lindsay. What was her name?
Leslie.
Leslie. Yeah. Lunch turned out great. It was good. You do anything later?
We both felt something.
We felt something. Look, she's not made of stone.
She's only human.
She's
Jason.
only human.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you.
I mean, come on. I looked better in 2009. I mean, let's be honest.
I take it back. I don't blame the guy. Delete her number.
Delete her
delete
number.
his wife's number.
Can you imagine? There were people around too when he said it, and I kind of looked around. I'm like, whoa. I was so happy I had witnesses. What does he think I'm going to do? Hey, Leslie, haven't seen a stent order for a few weeks.
We had that lunch.
And we had a big, kind of a big lunch. I wonder if you could maybe working from your side.
Delete my wife's number.
Delete my number. What
was he thinking? What did he? Oh,
I don't know. I mean, I can't even make that up. That happened to me. I bet if I went and looked in my phone, her number would be there.
Her number still be there. Well, your number.
Maybe I'd hit her up right now.
Yeah, hit her up
Remember
right now.
me?
Let's go. Hey, yeah, Brent Lloyd.
Oh my God.
It's going to come up in her phone. Oh, that's what you should have said. Yeah, I will do that. I'm going to need you to have her delete mine.
That would have been the best.
That'd have been the best. Listen, my wife called, and you weren't even married at the time, were you?
Oh, what? No, I was married.
You're married at the time. Yeah. Heather called, and she said, "We're going to need to delete on the other end too.
Yeah,
we need to wipe this. We need to wipe this transaction.
Hey, listen, I don't want any evidence.
We don't want no evidence of this transaction.
No, if I would have been clever enough to say that right then, it would have got a roar.
Of course, it would have got a roar
from that room.
It'd have been genius.
It would, but it would have been. Maybe it would have been kind of like because he ran a tight ship. This guy.
Well,
people were kind of afraid of him.
Yeah, there's no way you could have a snarky response to that in that.
No, it was yes, sir.
It was sir. Yes,
yes, sir.
Yeah. Good.
Anyway, let's
time out here. What are we going to talk about today?
Let's time out. Let's move on. I know. We were gonna talk about the job is a med device guy. It happens in the room. That's where the rubber meets the road. You're in an operating room. You're in a cath lab. You're in an EP suite, and everyone has different styles, different philosophies. Each lab has different expectations, or each OR. There's a different vibe, right? I think we can agree on that, right?
For sure.
And, I wanted to ask you and have this discussion about kind of what your philosophy is when you're in a case with a team, with a physician, and a team and a mapper and a circulating nurse and a scrub and all. Like how do you go about things, and kind of how do you use that time, and what's expected of you, and just give me an idea how you.
I mean, the first thing I think, and this is what I tell people that are coming and work in my accounts and in the labs with me, is first thing is go in there humbly, because we are guests in this place. We've been invited in, and we got to fit into the network of what they're doing there. And so, but the big part is really understanding what you're going in on, and be prepared for all eventualities. Like with the product that we bring, we've got leads, we've got generators, we've got sheaths, we've got wrenches, we've got catheters, and we've got all the different tools to get these products into the right place in the heart. And so you better be well prepared for eventualities, that if you have to turn and pivot, you better have what you need to do it, because that patient's already on the table with an open pocket. So your responsibility, our primary responsibility, is have the things that we need. Now, the outcome of the procedure is out of your control, but you need to have everything we have in our control available for them. And that's barrier one. That's, you show up with that, and the knowledge that comes with doing these cases over and over. That's when you really get to contribute. When you get to make suggestions. And I think the times that we make suggestions that are effective are probably, I don't know, 1 out of 50 maybe. Like most of the time, it's you're there, you're having the right stuff, you're delivering the information concisely. You're anticipating. You don't want guys to wait, and that's the thing. There's different labs. I mean, there's guys like that. I know how they operate. I see blood in the needle. I know they're moving. I'm already dropping stuff. Now, there's other hospitals that they want to ask you for everything.
There's some hospitals you don't drop stuff.
Well, and if you're in a new place, you find a circulator and say, hey, how do you guys like to do this? I mean, who drops stuff on the table? Because I mean, in the OR, in the cath lab office, we don't touch anything blue, we don't touch anything sterile. But in there, we can drop if they want us to, or hand off to them. Right. How do you? I mean, so what else on that? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like what you said about a guest. The job I have early on, there weren't very many of us out there supporting these cases, and we traveled a lot. And there were times where I would go places to help when I didn't have cases in my territory, or I was flying people in to help at my centers. Mm-hmm. And the worst thing would be when I would get the feedback from some of my people of the person that I brought in, who would come in and they were in charge, right? And we're going to do it this way because this is how I do it. I don't care how you do it, which is the exact wrong thing to do. You're tough. A guest, to your point, and you just adapt. Oh, this is how you do it? That's fine with me. Oh, you want it laid out this way? 100% fine. And you just adapt. And I think that's what a good rep does is identify the situation, ask a lot of questions, be a guest, and stay out of the way.
Stay out of the way.
Right?
Yeah. Speak when you know. If you wonder if you should say something, you probably shouldn't say.
You probably shouldn't. I tell that to my clinicals all the time. If you're thinking, should I say this?
Don't.
That means don't say it.
Don't say it.
Don't say it.
Right. And then, if you don't know, you better tell them you don't know.
Yeah, tell them you don't know.
Tell them you don't know. We're dealing with the smartest people on the planet, and if you don't know the answer and you BS it, they're going to know that.
No, and
there's nothing. There's
you never
nothing
get that
worse.
Chance back.
You never get that chance back.
Right.
Now to say, oh, you know what? I don't know, but I'm going to find out in the next 5 minutes, and then you do it. I don't know. It's great.
Right.
Mistakes are fine. Repeated mistakes aren't good.
Yeah, exactly.
Repeated mistakes aren't good.
The other thing, I had a conversation with a doc just earlier this week
Yeah.
about, there's a lot of structural heart reps out there. I mean, we got appendage closure, we're clipping the mitral valve, we've got transcatheter aortic valve replacement, we've got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of reps. And these guys have done thousands of procedures, hundreds at least, right? Sometimes the best thing you do is just shut up, right? Like if I can do a case and not say one word during the case, that's a good case.
It's a good case.
It's a good case. And I've had docs complain about other reps from other companies that tell them what they're going to do right before they're going to do it. Like every step, and they're constantly talking. And eventually people shut down, they don't listen because you're talking too much. And when you do have something to say, they're already shut down because you've been talking. Like if you don't talk all the time and you do notice something and you speak up, then they'll pause because they know what you're going to say is useful to them. So be useful.
Right.
Right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is like, I see a lot of the places that we can benefit is we see so many cases. Like we see so many of everyone's cases that there are times when they're running into a tricky situation in a tricky coronary sinus and be like, you know what? I saw a doc one time try this, try a double wire technique or some thing you can do. And if you can add value, add value. And if not, though, stay out of the way.
Do you find most of the time guys are receptive to that?
Most of the times they are. Yeah, I mean, I haven't been around a long time where someone's really not receptive.
But then you're you too, right? Like you've been around a long time, they don't trust you. But if you're like the new
if I'm the new guy
and you come in hot,
yeah, it's probably
it takes a long time.
The best idea. And me, I found, I mean, in transitioning companies in the last 2 years, it was hard going into places where I wasn't well known. They didn't care who I was.
You're Jason Dolan.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They didn't care how long I've been doing this. It's like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Whatever, guy.
Yeah.
Go check that device.
Yeah. Rep. Go check that device.
Hey, rep.
I think the way that we help on my side of things is, like to your point, we see a ton of cases and we run into a lot of stuff, and it kind of helps us disseminate that across the territory. But there's times when things get super intense. Because, we're working with patients. This used to happen a lot more, early on in this therapy where we didn't have an indication for patients that were healthy enough to have a surgery. And so they would come in, in late 80s without any reserve, with heart not pumping very well. And, we could get into trouble in these cases where, the doc is thinking about 10 things. Like blood pressure's dropping, we got to get this valve in. I've got to get a big 24 French sheath in the artery.
Yeah.
And all we have to worry about is the valve. And so at those times, I kind of reset my brain to stop thinking about everything else that's going on in the room and think about this one thing. Make sure the valve is on the right direction. Make sure they do all the steps and they don't miss a step. Make sure we've got our camera in the right view so that we put the valve where we want to put it, and don't let them make a equipment-related mistake. And I've done that and helped out dozens of times. When it gets really intense, if the rep is just thinking about what the rep is an expert on, then you can really help a case turn out well.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, in our world, it's changed a lot because we used to do, when we put a defibrillator in, we do defibrillation threshold testing, and so this is when what's in your mind?
Pretend I don't know what defibrillation threshold.
Oh, pretend I don't know. Okay.
Pretend I don't know.
When we put in a defibrillator to prevent to rescue for sudden cardiac death, we basically initiate chaotic electrical activity in the ventricle. So we shock the heart in a vulnerable period, put them into a sudden death event, and then rescue them from that. We see if the defibrillator can see the rhythm and then treat the rhythm.
Do what it's supposed to do.
Do what it's supposed to do.
Did you knock these patients out? Like, would they be awake?
No. They get, they were, nowadays we're doing general anesthesia, but it was Versed and fentanyl back then. But Yeah. So, but that was it was a really intense part where you as the device rep, you're operating the equipment where okay, you have to know your stuff, know what, like just like you were saying, know exactly your responsibilities. We're going to deliver a drivetrain. We're going to shock the heart. We have to make sure that the device is programmed appropriately to sense appropriately, to be in the right zone. I mean, there was a lot to do. Now, you would check this back with the physician, and make sure that everything's set up right and verify how you're going to shock, if you're going to, what joules, amount of energy we're going to deliver to the heart.
Thank you for that, because I was going to ask.
I know.
Pretend I don't know.
Pretend I don't know
joules are.
what joules are.
How many joules?
We said, well, now it's between, you give about a 10 joule safety margin. 41 joules is the max of the device. You test it at 31. We used to do it where we'd step down to
That's a weird max, 41. Why isn't it 40?
Some of them are 40 as well. They used to be 31 max, but we got to a higher energy with some of the newer battery technology. So getting up to a higher energy and a little bit bigger can too. So, but defibrillation threshold testing was very, very scary, because when you missed, like we would deliver 31 joules, patient still in VF. We're communicating all this, watching how exactly the device is seeing, treat. Okay, we missed.
VF means the heart's really not even working.
It's not working. Okay, we shock once, miss. Do we want to give it? Yep. We will have it discussed it beforehand. We're going to give the device 2 attempts, 31 joules, 41 joules, then external. So you get the pads that are on, 200 joules, get them out. Now we got to figure out what to do now, right? So once we just decided.
What hurts more?
Oh, there's no difference between 31 and 41 and 200.
Even the external?
They're out. They're out. I think they would all hurt. They would all hurt. All of them. 1 joule would hurt.
Is it like, do you think it's like a taser?
I think it's, everyone, I've always heard about getting kicked by a horse, getting hit in the back of the head with a 2x4. It's not good. It's not great. No. But it's also, I mean, you don't want your airbag to go off without needing it. If you need it, that's what you need it.
So yeah, you don't do that anymore.
No, we don't do that anymore. So that's been really good. I've done a handful of them, recently. There's some times with some hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, some dilated patients that we decided we probably ought to test this lead. I mean, we had one just recently where the lead was on the septum and we missed. And so we externally cardio.
Hey, Jason.
Getting a little esoteric?
A little esoteric. Like, we're not training our audience to do your job.
Okay. But we're just talking about what we do. Yeah.
Right.
Be able to make suggestions, be able to be present and know your role and execute.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So Jason, you do a lot of stuff in the room. We've talked a little bit about that. Your job is unique. We've talked about this before, that you follow up in clinic with the patient and the physician and the team in the clinic. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So it's really the bigger part of the job. I mean, the implant is the part that we do actively in the beginning, but we see the patient for the rest of their life. And it's not, I mean, so it's in clinic sometimes with normal follow-up, which is usually once a year. But really it's follow-up when the physician's not there. Like the part where they really rely on us is when the physician's not even there. Like when the patient comes into the ED and we have to go in and examine this device and give a good report to the following cardiologist to them understand what's going on with this patient at the time. And that's where the big responsibility is, because it's all in the interpretation of the electrograms we're seeing, the arrhythmias we're seeing, just knowing the diagnostics of the device itself too, to know, hey, is the device doing what it needs to do? How's this patient doing and what needs to be next? And, there's a lot of it.
This goes back to what we were talking about before. Like, who do those patients think you are?
I don't. That's a scary part of it. And a lot of times they're like, well,
Doctor?
I get called doctor a lot. Yeah, and I almost no, I'm not a doctor. I'm with. Yeah, that's why I always wear my costume.
We were playing golf the other day, and they thought, "What kind of doctor are you?"
What kind of doctor are you?
Yeah. You should just go with it sometimes.
I don't. Yeah, it feels weird. I mean, listen, my dad's a dentist, and he calls himself a doctor. I'm like, take
doctor.
it easy,
Like
Dad.
this,
Take it easy. You're a dentist, man. Come on. Yeah, you're not a doctor. Listen, if anyone goes down, you're not going to go jump in and help.
No, you're not.
No.
You're not.
Nobody needs a fill.
Is your dad the kind of dentist that wears scrubs?
No.
Like, okay.
No, he was not a scrub guy. He's an orthodontist. I mean, it's yeah.
How about that dentist, like that white smock they wear? You know the one I'm talking about?
My guy.
It's got like it's like a collar, like a priest collar, and it's just like straight down.
Yeah, I think that's
he
the
wear
thing with
that?
the best. My dentist doesn't. My dentist is kind of he's low key. He's coming in and he's wearing a golf shirt. He's a polo guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was a dentist, I'd be that guy.
I'd be a polo guy.
That
too.
smock though.
Yeah.
You were talking about clinic, and then you also do some stuff where you follow up on these patients, like when they have another procedure in the hospital.
Oh, yeah. Procedures in the hospital are tough because now we got to manage where they're being operated on and what's going to happen with the device. I mean, we got to evaluate whether they're dependent on the pacemaker or not. What do we
So
need
they
to
want
make
you there.
programming changes? We're there some of the times, or we can advise them to use a magnet. So magnets will affect pacers and defibrillators both differently so that they can do these kind of procedures when reps aren't close, right?
And sometimes when the rep isn't close, you could get away with that. But we had a situation a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where they called you to turn off I don't know what it was.
Oh, I had to go do it. For Provo MRI. I had to go do an MRI.
So you had to go turn off a device for an MRI. I'm like, well, and we had an appointment, you and me.
We did.
We had an appointment. We were going to talk about the pod.
Yep, we did.
And we were going to chart some stuff out.
Yeah.
And I took some time out of my busy day and I set it aside. And then I get a call from you saying, no, you have to go to Provo.
Yeah, I'm going to Provo.
To turn off a device, which is going to take you
40 minutes for the scan. 40 minutes.
So you got to turn off, then turn it back on.
It's a program before the scan, program
and
back
and which is that's like device rep 101.
It's 101.
You could send someone.
My
else.
kids could all go do it.
Anybody could go do
Anybody could go.
And I said, Jason, do you have a clinical?
I do.
Is she doing anything?
She was not. She was, well.
And she couldn't. You could not direct her to go. I begged you, didn't I?
You did.
I said, come on now. But you stopped me.
What did I say to you?
You told me it was a selling opportunity.
It's an opportunity. I listen. It's an opportunity. You got to show up, and you never know who you're going to catch. Go in there and do the service, do the work.
So what did I do?
You back down.
I shut up.
You shut the hell up.
I'm like, I got it.
Yeah. This is what has to be.
From one device guy to another, a tip of the cap. You drove 50 minutes to turn off a device that a child could do.
Wow.
And yet you knew you were going to have a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, maybe there's an opportunity.
You could maybe move the chains.
You got to get the touches, and you got to show up. This job is about showing up.
Yeah, it's about showing up.
Show up. They need to know you, and especially in my where I am right now. I'm trying to build a new business in this state, and we have not had familiarity. There's not a presence.
Right. So don't miss an opportunity, and that's why I love you. That's why I respect you, and that's why you are one of the top device guys in this territory. 100%.
I think you the same way. I mean, I think that's why we're sitting here doing this. Is that we can.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's what you were looking for. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's been. I tell you, I really enjoyed Wednesday this week. I really enjoyed Wednesday.
What was Wednesday?
Our men's league Wednesday evening.
Oh, we're going there?
Well, I mean, let's talk about it.
Okay.
You know how you started. You know how you started the round. You know what you did.
Okay. You're doing this at your own peril though, because it's a long golf season.
I get it. Yes. Okay. I know.
All right. So we play in the same men's league at Bonneville Golf and Country Club.
Country Club?
Mouth of Immigration Canyon here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And Jason, you needed a sponsor.
You did get me in.
I got you in.
He got me in.
Well, you kind of bullied your way into the text thread, really.
How did I do that?
Well, you went straight to Adam. You went straight to Adam. And you bullied, admit it, you bullied Adam, you got on the text thread, and now you're
Adam can't be bullied. Adam can't be bullied.
I know.
I asked.
Very impressionable, but I'm just saying, so we're playing on Sunday. We're playing on Wednesday. Jason likes to wear this cap.
I wear the caps that fit my head.
It's like a driver's cap.
Do you see this head?
Yeah. So it's a driver's cap.
It's not a driver's cap. It's not a driver's cap.
Well, what do you call it? It is
It's like a Peaky Blinders cap. Maybe it's a driver's cap. Okay. I don't even know what they're called.
It's a driver's cap. We have some merch with our logo on it.
Right.
I think I can make it work on a driver's cap. But so anyway.
It's all that fits my head.
It's the only thing that fits your head. So he's up on the tee. We're a lot of people watching. Every week there's a lot of people up there watching.
It's a gallery.
Jason, he striped it on the range. He hit every warm-up ball just perfect. And so he gets on the range, and he's just getting ready to address the ball. And I said, Jason, he's got an Uber gig after.
I got an Uber shift.
Yeah, he's got a shift of Uber after, and it got a big laugh. It got a big laugh.
It was good.
Then what did you do?
It was well timed. I dribbled it off the tee box about 60 yards off to the right.
Toe top.
Toe top.
It was a toe top.
It was not good.
And I felt bad. I did feel bad, a little bad about that.
Well, that's how it goes.
But I get that a lot.
Hey, lock down.
My wife and family will say sometimes I'm too much. Maybe I'm too much.
Well, at the end of the day, it was fine.
No, at the end of the day, so we played pretty good on the front. But at the end, we added up the scores at the end. I really limped in, didn't I?
You really limped in.
I limped in. I was 1 under after 3 on the back, and then I think I went double, and then we added them up at the end. And Jason came out ahead. I think he shot 81, 82.
82, yeah.
Yeah,
Not bad for me. The 2 in the bunker on the par 3 for you was the beginning of the end.
Well, that was the middle of the end.
That was
It was the middle of the end. Anyway, it's a long season. I'm glad you brought it up.
Well,
like I said, you opened yourself up.
Well, I mean, yeah,
to a whole season because I feel like it's the year of the Lloyd, and
it's the year of the Lloyd.
Stick man, year of the stick man, and it's going to happen.
Well, let's bring it. I mean, I think this job is a lot of the success and a lot of the time I spend with customers is out here on the golf course. I mean, it's been one of the places where people can really get to know you. And
for sure.
And it's so much fun to do. I mean, I remember hating golf. I used to play in the 1 scramble every year. I was like, God, I'd rather be doing anything else.
Right.
And a couple of years ago,
now you love golf, and it's an opportunity to be out there with people. It's great.
It's so much fun.
All right, I think we should wrap it up, Jason.
Let's wrap it up. That was a good conversation about kind of what we're doing and how the rubber meets the road. It's good.
Yeah, I feel like I want some Domathis right now.
Oh, let's go down and get some Euros and Domathis.
I think we should.
You
know what we should get?
Let's call Lindsay.
Leslie.
Let's
call Leslie. So meet me at Greek Souvlaki on 3rd South, and we'll get a baklava shake. Have you ever had a baklava shake there?
I didn't even know what that
is. We could do a whole episode on the baklava shake. It's so good.
Really?
Yeah, tip of the cap to my friend Peter Clark for introducing me to it. But that's a
baklava shake.
Oh, do yourself a favor. I'm telling you. But let's move on. That's a whole other episode. Let's thank our people. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it. We owe you a debt of gratitude.
Have a great time out there, people. Be nice. If you see someone out there without a smile on their face, give them one of yours.